In this video, I go over my top 10 picks for New Comic Book Day, October 20th, 2021. What's going on, everybody? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. I know last week I was in Vegas, so I had to do everything live, but now we're here. We're back into the premiered scheduling that I normally do here on Thursdays, 12:30 Eastern Time. And if you're excited to check out these top 10 books that I'm about to talk about, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thanks for all the support. The live that went on last week was a lot of fun. Appreciate everybody who came in to the live chat or caught the replay. Vegas was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen some of the videos and things that I was posting and over on my stories and stuff on Instagram, go check that out. It was a lot of fun. Got to meet some community members as well, which was always a pleasure to meet. So got to meet Alonzo, aka Comics and Pops, and I also got to meet Sheena, aka She the Geek or HK Wifey, and it was just awesome. So really nice to finally be able to meet some of the other community members that I don't normally get to meet since they are not on the East Coast. But yeah, so the trip was awesome, but I'm back now, focused on doing these top 10s again, and so we're gonna dive into it. Like I said, smash that like button. Everybody in the premiere chat right now, shout out to all of you. Thanks so much for hanging out as always. But yeah, let's get into that top 10. All right, so the first book I'm going with is Gunslinger Spawn, issue number 1. This is obviously Todd McFarlane's work. Also on the writing here is Ailes Cott, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and the artist Philip Tan doing a lot of the stunning work here. Just looking at the cover here from McFarlane, I mean, obviously just instant classic stuff. But so I've expressed this in the past. I am fairly new to Spawn. I have not read a lot of Spawn other than the King Spawn issues that have been coming out, which, by the way, King Spawn issue number 3 also comes out this week. It is not on my top 10 list, so just letting you know now. There's my dog. Yep. Okay. So anyways, yeah, Gunslinger Spawn, issue number 1. I was saying before, King Spawn, issue number 3 is coming out. It's not going to be on my list, just because I'm still going to be reading it. It just didn't make my top 10. Last issue, I was a little confused still, and I think that's just because I'm more or less just new to Spawn in general. I really enjoyed that first issue, though. I think that's the thing that really got me hooked, really got me intrigued. Had no idea it was as dark as it is, so I think that's also why I'm like kind of, coming back. So, but this right here, my number 10 pick, Gunslinger Spawn, issue number 1. I got a little bit of an introduction to Gunslinger Spawn from King Spawn, issue number 1, and that's why immediately the way it ended, I was like really looking forward to learning more about this character. I've heard people talk about this character in the past, but I'm going to continue it, and I think it was I was looking forward to it enough to where it's going to make my top 10. So that's my number 10 pick of the week, Gunslinger Spawn, issue number 1. Going into number 9, I'm going to go with Catwoman, Lonely City. So this is, I don't know if this is supposed to be, it says book 1, it's a black label book. I don't know how many issues there are, or if it's like just a larger version issue, I assume it's like a magazine size issue, with being that it's black label. Cliff Chiang is doing the writing, and Jock, Cliff's also doing the artwork, I just realized. Jock is doing one of the covers. Okay, so that's interesting. So Cliff's doing everything. Interesting. Don't know much else about it. I mean, I don't know if it's a type of origin story of some sort with Catwoman, but I've been wanting to brush up on my Catwoman, and so I figured this would be a great way to kind of go about that, and especially the black label stuff. I'm all on board for, loving what DC has been doing so far. So I'm going to give that a shot, and that is why it is my number 9 pick on the week, Catwoman, Lonely City, book 1. Let's see, going into my number 8 pick. All right, so I'm really, really excited about my number 8 pick, even though it's number 8. I just had to put it somewhere. I wasn't sure where to put this, but I have an X title on my list here today. It is X-Men, The Trial of Magneto, issue number 3. Now, before you say anything, just so you know, I have not caught up yet, at least from when you're watching this right now, but I do plan on reading issues 1 and 2 over the weekend, because since I've been in Vegas, I had time to read, and I started to catch up on some of the X-Men titles, and I just finished through the X of Swords saga, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed it, very epic. And now I'm just kind of catching up on some other key issues before I jump into Inferno and the Trial of Magneto and so on and so forth. So I am really making a push for, you know, being all caught up on X-Men to where I can actually start reading current X-Men again. And I'm sure once I'm like 100% there, you're probably going to see more X titles on my top 10 list. So just giving you a heads up. I've talked about this in the past. People have asked me, why are there not more X titles? If you're such a big X-Men fan, why are there not more X titles on your top 10 picks? And a lot of it is because I've been waiting to read them on Marvel Unlimited, and not buying them, you know, live during the day or week that they come out. So, but I am starting to get into that rhythm of reading them immediately now. So that's why I'm putting this on here. I don't know anything about it yet. All I know is the Trial of Magneto, and it's issue number 3, and I'm really excited for it as it continues as, you know, part of Hickman's like big, you know, overall story that he's been working on. So, this is the writer here for is Leah Williams, and artist is Lucas Wernick. So yeah, been hearing good things, and that's why I have it here as my number 8 pick, The Trial of Magneto, issue number 3. Let's see, going into my number 7 pick, I'm going with Eat the Rich, issue number 3, a Boom Studio book that I have really been enjoying. Each issue's been very dark, leaving me a lot of different questions about what's happening all at the same time. So, but I'm really enjoying it. And on top of that, the artist, Pius Bach, amazing artwork in these books right now. Sarah Gailey doing the writing for this. I'm not very familiar with anything else that Sarah Gailey has done, but, I've really been enjoying this particular issue. So, or the series, I should say. So, yeah, looking forward to continuing with this. Eat the Rich. Don't let the title throw you off. It's not, or you would assume it is what it actually says. There is a twist to it though, and I won't get into details, but yeah, it essentially, the beginning of it is about this girl, Joey, who is going to meet her boyfriend's parents for the first time, and Joey comes from a very rich or wealthy family, and she finds out some really dark secrets about their family and some of the rituals and things that they do. And yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. But Eat the Rich has been fantastic, especially if you like the horror stuff. It is right down your alley, and I highly recommend checking out this series. So that's going to be my number 7 pick of the week, Eat the Rich, issue number 3. Let's see, going into number 6, I kind of didn't know where to put this because I'm excited to continue reading this. I just don't know, like, overall where. I think I just want to read the whole thing. And I guess I should just say the title. What I'm referring to is Batman. This is issue 115 that's coming out. I've been loving the Fear State series so far, the things that I have been reading. I haven't read all the tie-ins. I've been trying to keep up with them, but it's definitely a little harder than I thought it was going to be. But I am enjoying the main title and some of the other tie-ins that are going in with it. Again, wasn't sure where to put this. It's not like my number 1 in any way, but it certainly is not, you know, missing the top 10 either. Tynan is certainly building up to a lot of what he's, you know, doing here. I also know that, or I just saw that Becky Cloonan is marked as a writer on here as well, and Michael Conrad. So I'm not sure if that's part of their tie-in. Oh yeah, now I see it here. Also features Batgirls. So Batgirls is being written by Cloonan and Conrad in the back. And I think the penciling is George Corona there, which is pretty cool. Am I mixing that up? No. And then Jorge Jimenez is doing the main Batman penciling. So, which has just been fantastic. And that alone, Jorge Jimenez has become one of my favorite modern artists. He's just so talented, and love what he's been doing in the Batman stuff, and especially how he just drawing all the characters, Harley, Batman, all of them. Really like his style. So yeah, this is a continued tie-in to the Fear State story arc that Tynan has been working on, and we'll be wrapping up soon. I think only like 3 or 4 more issues, so keep an eye out for that. But it's been really good so far, so wanted to make sure to include that here as part of my top 10. So that's Batman issue number 115 as my number 6 pick of the week. All right, so we are halfway through the list, and I just want to take a moment to do my community shout out of the week. And this time I'm going to shout out my good friend Eric, aka AzoresTiger. I'll put his information in the description below. If you've been watching my channel, then you probably already know him. or if you're over on Instagram, you probably already know him. I feel like he's very active over on Instagram and on YouTube, and he's now really launched his own channel. I'm really excited for him and everything that he's been doing. He's been a guest several times on my channel, including more recently reading the Black Science series. It's been a lot of fun. And I have to say, Eric is, he is one of the best people in this community. He is somebody that I feel brings everybody else together. He's been there for me in terms of anytime I want to talk comics. I know he is a mutant fan, a mutant brother. He has been on the Omni X-Men show several times. Hopefully have him on again soon for that as well. You know, very smart with a lot of the things that he's investing in, a lot of different things that he talks about. He is an avid reader of comics in general, which I also appreciate, and just love talking comics with him. So if you're looking for somebody to talk comics with, and especially with Marvel and X-Men and things like that, I mean, I shouldn't even say that because he reads everything. The man reads everything. Don't hesitate. Reach out to Eric. I'm sure that he will, you know, love to talk comics with you. So make sure you do that. I put Eric's information in the description below. Eric, if you're watching, appreciate you, brother. But yeah, so let's get back into the list. All right, jumping back into the list, I have here at my number 5 pick of the week, Maw, issue number 2. Really loved the first one. I mean, there were moments that were very heavy. It's a very dark read, and I'm just, it left me so curious about everything that's going on. Jude Ellison Doyle is the writer here, A.L. Kaplan doing the artwork. And I'm trying to think of where this left off, because I feel like it's been more than a month that this is out. I guess maybe not. Reading the little caption here. What happens when the monster within the shadows awakens? Oh yeah. So essentially it's these two women that go on a woman's retreat, to kind of clear their minds. But there's like some dark things going on at this retreat. I'm not even gonna get into all the details, but I just remember it is there are moments of some heavy parts of learning about some of the characters that they're focused on here in the story, and just some of the struggles that they've gone through recently that kind of led them up to being going on this retreat, kind of trying to escape essentially. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's my number 5 pick of the week, Maw issue number 2. Definitely recommend it. Let's see, going into my number 4 pick of the week. This is kind of weird. Usually this is like a number 1. Nightwing issue number 85. For those of you who don't know, I love Nightwing, the series that Tom Taylor has been putting together ever since Nightwing 78. It's all been fantastic. Last issue was a Fear State tie-in, and this is also a Fear State tie-in. So I know some people had mixed feelings on it because of the fact it's a Fear State tie-in. If you are not reading the Fear State stuff, then yes, you could probably skip on some of these issues. I don't know if there's going to be any more other than these 2. Last issue was part 1. This is listed as part 2 here. But I personally have been really enjoying it. I think the only thing that threw me off a little bit was that they changed up the artist for last issue and this issue. So this issue, it is Robbie Rodriguez. Yeah, so it's not Bruno Redondo, who has been doing it ever since 78. Redondo's been amazing, absolutely amazing. But I see the cover art here is Bruno Redondo. So hopefully Bruno will come back into the picture once they are done with the Fear State tie-ins, and move forward with wherever it is that Tom Taylor wanted to take this story. Either way, it's just been fantastic. And so yeah, if you guys have not read Nightwing, I always say this, go back to 78 and just read from there. It is well worth your time. So, all right, I'll leave it at that. That's going to be my number 4 pick of the week, Nightwing issue number 85. Getting down to the top 3 here, I am going to go with Not All Robots issue number 3 is my number 3 pick. And this has been, I mean, this probably could be a number 1 actually. And I'm looking ahead here, like, what did I put as number 1 again? Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's really, it really is up there. It really, maybe it should have been over. It's very good. It's very clever. It takes place in the future. It's about these robots who, or it's about humans and robots living together, and kind of where the world has developed now, where basically humans don't work. The robots do all the work essentially, but the robots like have feelings in a way, and they don't like how there's like this like political war going on between the two. and yet they feel that both are needed in the world, although there are some robots that feel that that humans are worthless and they don't need to be around anymore. And it's almost like humans being the minority. It's very interesting the way they kind of play into politics along with this. And I'm not a political person in any way, but I just think it's very clever of somehow how the writing is and the different concepts that you would think would probably be realistic to situations if we really lived in this type of world. So really enjoying it. This is an AWA Upshot book. And the thing that got my attention was Mike Diodato was doing the artwork. So, and I love the art that he does. So Diodato on the artwork, Mark Russell doing the writing here. If you guys are not reading this book, definitely put it on your list. I think it is well worth it. Very clever writing and a great concept. So so that's gonna be my number 3 pick of the week. Not All Robots, issue number 3. Getting down to the top 2. This is really tough. Top 2. Oh, man. I mean, I really think Not All Robots could have been 1 also. Man, I'm like literally flip-flopping these as I go. All right. I'm just going to call this as my number 2. Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 4. Tom Taylor, second book on my list. You know, Tom Taylor, anytime Tom Taylor is coming out with something, assume it's going to probably most likely be on my top 10. Fantastic stuff, which is crazy for me to be saying because I have never read Superman up until now. Now, I know this is not the Superman that is well known to the world, but this is his son, Jonathan Kent. And we recently just found out some spoilers that I guess I won't say just because technically it's a spoiler, but if you haven't seen Tom Taylor post this on his Instagram page, I would check it out if you're interested in learning a little more about it before we get into more of the details. But I really enjoy where this story is going as a whole, where the character is going as a whole. It is essentially now where Jonathan Kent has taken over the reign of Superman, and all we kind of understand is that his dad has left or is leaving and is never coming back, essentially, as he is being called to something else. It's kind of what we've learned. But in the meantime, Jonathan Kent is trying to figure out how to be Superman, how to save the world in a way that is effective and using his powers to the best of his abilities and solving all problems in the world. I mean, all problems, which I know there are some heavier topics within some of these books, and I think it's just been a powerful read. So I really enjoy where this is going. Tom Taylor seriously might. I mean, him and Tynan are like top tier for my top 2 writers right now. I feel like of 2021. I don't know who I'd say if I had to choose who's been my favorite so far, but I won't make that answer here now. But Tom Taylor just killing it. So if you guys are not reading Superman, Son of Kal-El, even if you're not a Superman person, even if you've never read Superman before, if you feel like it'd be boring or whatever the case may be, remove that thought and check this out because this series has been really good. And I will admit, I used to look at Superman books kind of as that, just kind of like boring and dry. How could that ever get my attention? And shame on me because I've never really given it a shot. It's not fair for me to say that, but I'm glad that I've given this a shot. And certainly maybe there's going to be a time where I go back and read some older Superman. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk to Copy 801 to get some recommendations. But anyways, that's going to be my number 2 pick of the week. Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 4 by Tom Taylor. Last one up here. And before I do, thanks so much everybody in the chat right now, in the Premiere chat, for watching. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you're new. I do appreciate that. We're almost to 1K. We're getting there. We're about like 40 away from 1K. Really excited. And when we do cross that mark, be on the lookout for some sort of event that I will be throwing, some live stream party of some sort, where we'll get some of the community involved and just kind of celebrate. I'm really looking forward to the 1K. So, but thank you all so much for those who've been supporting me, my channel here on YouTube and also on Instagram, and just so many incredible people that I've gotten to meet and talk with and become not just friends, but truly like family with over these past couple of years. So it's really been incredible. All right, so let's get in this last book here. And I am actually going to go with The Death of Doctor Strange, issue number 2, as my number 1 pick of the week. whoa, like I don't know. I'm trying to think the last time that I actually had a Marvel book as my number one pick. I really, at least off the top of my head, can't recall. But yeah, it certainly has been a while, and I will say, Doctor Strange is a character that I've not really explored before. I've just never, other than like the films and what I've seen from the MCU, I've never really read any Doctor Strange issues or comics, older comics, anything like that before. And I have to give a shout out to John from John's Comics with Kids, because he put a video out when the first issue came out, like a mini review, a 2-minute review, and that's kind of what sold me. Is kind of what he had to say about it. So I wanted to give it a shot. I think it's only 5 or 6 issues. Oh, actually, it's like, I remember, I think it has like a total of like 8 or 9 issues. I think there's a couple like little tie-ins that are going to be going into this. And it's just like a separate like side story. Doesn't really tie into, at least from what I understand, doesn't really tie into anything that's going on in the Avengers or anything else in the current Marvel like story arc. So you can just jump into this, from my understanding. And again, I just jumped into it and I didn't feel lost at all. So I think that this is something that anybody could just get into. Now, obviously, the title is called The Death of Doctor Strange. And so that is a pretty literal title. There's no real major spoilers, especially looking at this cover here. Yes, things happen, as you can see. And I won't get into a lot of the details, but I will say that, I should mention, Jed MacKay is doing the writing. I'm a fan of Jed MacKay. I like what he's been doing with Magic the Gathering for Boom Studios. So that was another reason that I wanted to check it out. And then also Lee Garbett doing the artwork. It's been fantastic. And it was really cool. I actually tagged Lee in like an Instagram post, and he had commented back saying, thanks sir, appreciate it, and just wait for a wild ride or something like that. So really cool. I love when creators like really take time to interact with the fans. So it's always nice to see, and I am looking forward to it. So so essentially Doctor Strange, he's dead, but the way the issue ended last issue, there's so much more to this, and it's just the beginning. So it's not like, it just ends. Like, obviously there's going to be more issues. So I won't get into the details, but I will say I do recommend checking out issue 1 and reading into issue 2. And that is why this is my number 1 pick. That should be saying something. I think it's worth checking out for sure. So there you have it. Like I said, I think Not All Robots could certainly still be up there. It's still like, I'm like questioning it because it's just been so fantastic. But all of these, Superman, Son of Kal-El, and Death of Doctor Strange has been fantastic and well deserved for a top number 1 out of 10. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the list. If you agree with this, if I'm missing some things, let me know. I always like to clarify, like, this is just my personal list, and I'm looking forward to each and every week things that I'm reading right now, and hopefully either I can recommend some new things to you, or you can recommend some new things to me. Either way, I appreciate it. It's always a good time. And so otherwise, keep an eye out for my Comic Collector Origins coming out this Saturday. I have a new interview with my good friend Herminio, Big Herm, Station Big Herm. Can't wait to have him on the channel. So if you guys have never seen the Origin show before, it starts at 2 o'clock Eastern time on my channel here this Saturday. And basically I get to interview him as well as other community members to learn about their origin story, how they got involved with comics and the comic book hobby as a whole. It's just a lot of fun. So hopefully I'll see you there on Saturday. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this up. So make sure you smash that like button. And until next time, I will talk to you later.